This is Up The Bloc in Mississauga. It's a bouldering only facility in a city of about 700,000 that hasn't had many climbing gyms over the last decade. They're only starting to show up now. Let's take a look inside. First off, I like a nice lobby with a lot of open space. They use it as lounge space and as retail, but there's a lot of room for expansion for whatever they want in the future, and some really nice branding on the front waiver wall. The walls were built by On-Site, Quebec-based wall building company, and they are gorgeous. People love getting their pictures taken on these walls, and of course the route setting and the hold selection makes everything look pretty impressive. This gym originally opened doing full colored circuits, so a completely tapeless gym. You can see the grade chart here. Since then, it's been about a year and a half since they opened. I'm guessing the route setters got bored of having limited holds to set with, so they now set with World Cup taping, and it's now the tape color that differentiates the grades, allowing them some more flexibility in the holds. And they've got these nice wooden start and top tags made up on every single climb. A lot of bench space, seating space, more couches down the center. So it is a nice place to kind of lounge, air conditioned, some fans, usual stuff. In my opinion, fairly low density compared to some other places, but fairly in line with today's aesthetic. And again, the front desk here, which I'm actually a really big fan of. This front desk wraps around this blue wall, and it lets your prime desk person see the front door and see the entire gym, and also kind of see people who are trying on shoes at the same time. There's a lot of space for expansion again, whether they're adding waiver stations or more computers. There's room for whatever comes up in the future, whether it's adding more retail at the desk or just adding more service stations, adding more stuff in the kitchen. And they do have a really nice retail op. It's fairly well branded. You see these shirts around the Toronto area a lot. At the back of the gym, they've got a fitness section. A big moon board tucked away in the corner there, a little bit cramped. But then on top of that, you've got all your hang boards. Lots of room for pull-up racks and hanging rings. A big 6-lane campus wall. And then all the stuff that comes with it, rollers, boxes, free weights. And what's really nice is having a timer right there, which, if you're a climber, you can program it to use for circuits, or you can use it when you're working out. Something unique for me was this self-serve rental shoe wall. It's not a 24-hour facility, but it's still kind of a nice way to keep that stuff away from the desk and still accessible for customers, and a spot for you to dump the shoes when you're done. They've made really good use of these sliding doors. You'll see this one here. So it's a fairly tight hallway from around the desk into the change room area. So instead of having doors for offices and separate areas, opening into those spots, they've got these nice big doors that just roll along tracks, keeping them out of the way. And if we go down that hallway, we see lots of cubby space. And they do a unisex layout for the change room and washrooms. So you have 4 separate draw curtain change rooms, and then 3 unisex washrooms, 1 accessible and then 2 just standard, as well as a shower. I really like this kind of layout. I like the full privacy in individual washrooms, and it also makes it so you don't have to designate separate space for a men's washroom and a women's washroom. I think it's the way to go. Very common in Europe, less common here, but I think it's the best thing for your customers, and really good if you're dealing with a smaller floor print. I took a quick look inside the setting room. These are some of the route tags I was mentioning and some of their setting carts. I think you'll see their hold washing in a second. If you get a chance, I'll put a link in the description for one of the podcast episodes where I spoke to the head route setter, Dustin Curtis, at this facility. He broke down his setting philosophy, but there's also some great pictures of their setting tool cart that you should really check out if you're looking for ideas for your own setup. It's a really impressive workstation. Anyway, this is Up the Bloc in Mississauga, Ontario. If you're ever in the area, make sure you stop by.